Hey, I'm Rob for JTRPodcast.com, and at Essen Spiel 2018 I played Bad Bones. This is a 1 to 6 player tower defence game. You have this board, this is like your town, and you've got your 5 buildings below it, they're important. You've got a tower of 4 tower tiles high in the middle, and you've got your hero on top of that. And what you do is you draw 4 of these skeletons from a bag and you put them on the forest on the edge of the board matching the symbol. So they have the symbols the same on the right, the left and the top of the board. So you have to make it that the skeleton is facing upright, so he's kind of stood upwards from the way you're looking at your board, and they should be on the white side for now. And the game's played over 4 phases as shown on this board. The first one is to move your hero. Now you must move your hero 1 space in any direction. It moves like a king in chess, and if you move it onto a skeleton, you return that skeleton to the bag. After everyone has moved their hero simultaneously, all the rounds are done simultaneously in this game, you now have the option of placing a trap onto the board, returning a trap from the board, or doing nothing. More on traps in a bit, but just know that if you return a trap from the board, it will heal it if it was damaged. The next phase is everyone's going to move all their skeletons 1 space in the direction of the arrow, and then flip them over to the black side to show that they will move this round. If you've got a bunch of skeletons on 1 space, you just stack them up, it doesn't matter, and you move them in 1 direction. If they get to an arrow, it's going to change its orientation in that direction. So you just turn them so they're pointing in the direction they're going to be moving to next round. So if you place some traps on the board earlier and the skeleton walks into one, things are going to happen. So if you walk into a wall trap, you move it onto the next space on the wall, diverting its direction to show it bounced off the wall at a right angle, and then you flip the wall over to show that it was damaged. It doesn't matter if 1 skeleton hit it or 10 skeleton hits it, it's only going to take that 1 hit, so you just flip it over to show that it's damaged. If skeletons hit a wall that's already damaged because you didn't remove it from play early and didn't heal it up, then you discard that wall from play. If you've diverted a skeleton and it moves off the board to the right or to the left, if it goes off to the right, you put them in the graveyard tile on the person to your right. If it goes off to the left, you put them to the graveyard in the person on your left. If they go off the top of your board, you can give them to any player's graveyard around the table. If, however, a skeleton leaves the bottom of your board, you're going to destroy one of your village tokens by flipping it over. If it hits the centre tower, then you remove a floor from the tower. But the hero is still big and powerful, so if a skeleton walks into your hero, then it will still kill the skeleton, and the skeleton will be returned to the bag. Now if a skeleton or group of skeletons walks into a catapult trap, you put all the skeletons in one player's graveyard, any player, and then you flip the catapult to show it was damaged. Again, if the catapult was already damaged, you discard it from the game. If they walk onto the dragon trap, you change their direction any way you want and flip the dragon. Again, if the dragon was already flipped, he would be dead. And the final trap is the treasure. Now any skeletons next to the treasure when you place it will turn to face it because they obviously want that treasure, and any that move next turn next to the treasure will automatically turn towards it, so they'll move towards it in the next round. And once they move onto the treasure once, it is removed from the game because they nicked it. And once everybody is done moving all the skeletons, activating all their traps, firing off their skeletons to different players' graveyards, they'll stick their hand in the bag, draw 3 more, take those 3, as well as any other skeletons they've been given in their graveyard, given as a gift, and you'll put them around the outside of your board just as you did in setup, this time on the black side, to show that it's the round where the black skeletons are going to move, and then we move on to the next stage. So now all the skeletons are black side up, and they'll be flipped to the white side when moved, and the round tracker will show which side you're going to flip the skeletons to after moving. Then you go back to beginning, start a new round, moving your hero, then placing, removing traps, etc, etc, until one of the endgame conditions are triggered. So if a player's tower, all 4 levels of the tower, or all 5 villages have been destroyed, the game will end immediately at the end of that round. You gain 1 point per star visible on traps in your supply and on the board, so damaged traps are worth fewer points. The treasure gets stolen worth used, so it's worth nothing if it got taken by a skeleton. You gain 4 points per level of tower left and 5 points per village remaining. Whoever's got the most points wins. And there's an advanced version of the rules where you've got more traps, you've got different types of baddies, not just skeletons, you've got weapons for the hero, you've got co-op rules, you've got solo rules. This was the best game I played at Essen. I absolutely loved it. I just like the puzzle, because it is a bit of a puzzle game. You've got all these skeletons marching towards you, some in different groups, some single, one at a time. They're the worst ones, because they're the ones that are just going to come square after square after square, and you can't kill them all, because you can't place a trap on them. You have to place a trap in front of them. So if they're going to hit you one after the other, your trap's not going to last long. So you need to get your hero in there, and then you need to use your traps to get rid of the big sort of hordes of skeletons coming. And then you're firing them off into different players, and whoever's doing well, say, oh, you've got all of your tower left, you've got all of your villagers left. Here, have a big pile of skeletons I've just fired at you with a catapult. And it really was just loads of fun. Now, the reason I'm not holding up the box here and saying, look, I got this game, is that unfortunately it's not out until February. They did have copies there for sale, but only a limited number. And unfortunately, I didn't play it till, I think it was late on the Saturday, which was the third day. So there was no copies left, unfortunately. But this is a really good game. This is a must-buy for me, and I think it's worth giving it a try. They do actually say that if you buy multiple copies of the game, you could play with 12 players. I don't know if you're going to buy 2 copies of a £40 game just to play it with 12 players. That might be a bit too many, but it is doable because, like I say, all the actions are simultaneous. So there's no downtime, there's loads of interaction. You've got this nice little puzzle you're working out. I absolutely love this game. That was Bad Bones. Remember to like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JTRPodcast and find the blog and podcast at JTRPodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka Jesta ThaRogue, and I'll see you soon.